All right, so we are here with Destructor out of Cleveland.
Yeah!
Introduce yourself.
I'm Dave Overkill.
Matt Flammable.
To the hammer!
The Dragon.
All right, so when did Destructor first form?
We first formed in 1984.
Okay. Were you in any other bands before?
Just some high school bands. Matt was in a couple of bands before that.
Yeah. Some pop culture bands.
What were your influences? Because in 1984, things were changing rapidly in the world of metal.
Honestly, our influences were all the 70s music. Ted Nugent, Aerosmith, Kiss, The Gods, Stars, all that kind of hard rock is what became heavy metal in the 80s.
You're a youngster. You got all those newer bands in your.
All the newer bands. What did I leave out?
Forgot about Jimi Hendrix and.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So how long did it take before Maximum Destruction appeared on the scene?
The band actually formed in '83. Matt joined in '84. So that was the official beginning of Destructor, and then by the summer of 1985, we were recording Maximum Destruction.
Okay, you want to show the album and say anything you want to say about that record?
Sure, yeah, this record kicks your ass.
Still does.
Kicks my ass too.
It's we're just kids. I was 21 when we recorded this record, and
youngsters.
so exactly, he was a little.
I was an old man when
Matt was a little bit older, but that was our first chance to make a record, and we're pretty proud of it.
Did you tour for that album?
We didn't really tour. We did a lot of Weekend Warrior shows. So we were out. We'd go to Rochester, New York. We'd go to Detroit. We'd play on different sides of the town in Cleveland. But there was no real tours at that point.
We didn't have the luxury of being full-time musicians, so it was kind of rough.
How did the public react upon this album?
In Cleveland, we're the only band at the time doing that kind of music. So there was a diverse scene, but we were the only band that was really emerging. That was Ohio's version of Anthrax or Metallica or Slayer or Megadeth or whatever have you.
Okay. Now, the album actually got a lot of great reviews. It seems like you had a really great momentum going, and then the band sort of like disappeared, at least on the national scale. What was happening?
Well, in 1987, 1988, on New Year's Eve, our bass player, Dave Holocaust, was murdered. So we had a record deal with Roadrunner Records for the redistribution of Maximum, and we were getting ready to pen a deal, a 7-album, 7-record deal.
Yeah, we had a good head of steam going, man.
With Island Records. Anthrax was on that label at the time. That all fell through.
What happened afterwards?
We tried to carry on for a couple of years, and then by the time the 80s ended, in America, heavy metal was ending pretty fast. So grunge was taking over. I think Destructor's very, very last show was in 1992 with Overkill. And then after that, we hung it up until 1999 when we reunited.
Do you have any regrets about not capitalizing on that momentum from the 80s?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you lose a brother, somebody dies, all your hopes and dreams fall right through your hands. It was terrible, but
it was very, very traumatic.
There was nothing that we could do about it, and we didn't have the momentum and the management and the backing like Metallica did to be able to overcome losing somebody like Cliff. So not every band has a destiny like a band like Metallica, and our history is ours. We own it, and we're still glad we have an opportunity to do stuff. So
Killer's still in prison too, motherfucker.
Unfortunately. Now, so what sparked the return of Destructor?
There was a lot of European fan base still, and people were asking, what happened to Destructor? Can Destructor come back? And we decided, this is something that we should pursue. We got a lot of unfinished business, if you will. So let's pick up where we left off. that's what we did.
And your next release was?
The next release was Sonic Bullet. Sonic Bullet, we had Jamie join our band, Jamie Boulder, who came from the band Boulder, who is more well known as Athenar of Midnight. And he was in the band for 10 years. We did.
What did Sandy Kruger call him?
Alphanar. So we,
After midnight.
with that, we started to come across the pond, and we went to Europe. We played shows, and we'd do some shows around different states in America. So that was the beginning of us really getting some momentum again.
Okay. Keep going with the releases then.
Matt, you talk.
I can't talk.
Yes, you can.
No, my tongue hurts. I bit my tongue the other day, and it's really hard for me to have a conversation with anybody. It hurts. This was a limited edition when we did Keep It True Festival over in Europe, and actually it was a show called Storm of Steel. We were going to originally do that because that was the name of one of our songs. And they called it Storm of Steel. Wasn't it going to be like in...
That was the pre-show.
Right.
The name of the pre-show.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not good at telling stories.
Were you guys surprised
I give up.
about your reception in Europe, popularity?
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
Even though you never played there in your heyday. So
Yeah,
where did it come from?
You know, it's not for us to question why we have a fan base and where the fan base resides. We're just enjoying whatever piece of the pie that we're able to maintain at this point in our career.
See, I'm kind of tricking you in a way because I'm a European myself, and you know, Europeans once we like a band, we like a band forever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's like, you know, through thick or thin,
Yeah,
basically.
I got you.
So what was it like to play Europe for the first time?
It was fantastic.
Yeah, man.
It was great.
What an honor.
Okay. What happened afterwards?
We did a recording called Forever in Leather. I think this came out in 2007.
Let Howard talk about that one.
You want to talk about this?
That's right. If you are present, by all means.
I can't talk about that one.
This was our last record that we did on Auburn Records, and this is a really great record. We're pretty proud of this one. So I don't know what else to say about it.
You're fired.
How would you say your style had changed, developed thus
I
far?
think it just kind of
I started wearing penny loafers.
penny loafers.
Penny loafers?
I was lighting them too.
Yeah. I don't think our style ever changed. I think it's constantly evolving, and we hold true our roots.
And
Gucci bags.
That's important to us.
what must be present in order for you to kind of decide, hey, that's a Destructor song?
It gets the blood flowing.
Okay, very good. Move on.
Makes your head bob. This was actually going to be our second record. These are songs that were written in the late 80s, 1986 and 1987, that was re-recorded in 2001. So this came out years later. Sometimes things don't happen in order. But this record, Back in Bondage, is all the last of the songs that we wrote with Dave Ionica, Dave Holocaust. Decibel Casualties comes next.
Yeah.
This is the last one, for now.
This is, and we're working on a brand new one right now. This is the last one that we wrote with Pat Rabbit and Jamie. And as you can see, there's a picture of Tim on the back here as well. Tim's been playing with us for like 10 years now.
About 7, 8 years.
7. And,
you're like
and
an old-timer.
Howard, the Dragon, has just joined the band, and this is going to be our very first show with him tonight. So we're pretty excited about this whole event tonight.
Now, you mentioned that there is a new album in works. Can you give some details as to what should we expect?
You should expect it to be nothing less than, if you're a Destructor fan, this will fulfill all of your desires.
Like oral sex.
All right. Newer members of Destructor. What attracted you to these bunch of guys here?
I just known these guys for 100 years in the metal scene out of Cleveland. playing shows, and I just knew them all. We're all brothers.
Were you always
don't
a
give up my
Destructor
age,
fan,
man.
even while not
Oh
being
yeah, I
in
was
the band?
always a Destructor fan. Yeah, and Auburn. We were all on the same record label back in the day, in Auburn Records, and knew all these guys, and we all knew each other. And I heard Jamie was leaving the band and doing midnight more shows at midnight.
Open up the opportunity.
Yeah. So.
Excellent. What would you say is the best thing about being in this band, being from Cleveland?
You'd have to ask these guys.
Yeah? Go ahead.
Just the energy's through the roof, and it's just skull crushing fucking thrash metal. It's great. It's a great release. It's really good music.
Excellent. Well, I hope...
Like anal sex.
Let's not comment on that.
Edit that out.
Yes. I hope Destructor will be with us for many years to come.
Thank you, my friend. We
Right?
appreciate it.
Yeah,
And keep it metal.
Yeah!
Thank you.